Well, hello and welcome to StreamingChurch.tv. This is our live video blog. We do this live usually every Thursday evening, and then we upload it a little bit later, and we upload it to our on-demand media vault at StreamingChurch.tv, and also we'll put it up on YouTube as well. So this has a lot of value for us because there are people watching live, and then there are also people that will watch it later. So we dig that, we enjoy that very much. Thank you for spending some time with us here on this Thursday evening, or whatever evening it might be for you if you're watching this on an archive. My name is Phil Thompson. I'm the Executive Director of StreamingChurch.tv. My partner in crime, Steve Lacey, is not here again. He's out playing hooky, and I think he's getting ready for his vacation. He's going to Galveston, Texas, I think is where he's headed next week. So anyhow, I'm glad that you're here today. We're going to do kind of what we did last week. We're going to take some questions again. We do this streaming video blog on a regular basis, and we cover a lot of different topics over the years. We've covered not only technical things regarding streaming online, streaming your small business, church services, ministry, from camera work to lighting to sound to security for your churches to social media. We've covered the whole gamut, and we continue to. And so if you've got a topic you'd like to discuss sometime, let us know. Today we're going to just take some time to answer some questions. And if you're watching on our Streaming Church TV platform, you've got chat where you can actually ask us some questions if they're streaming related or website related. Streaming Church TV is a company that helps churches and ministries and small businesses stream. We also have websites, and so we're very much involved in technology, and maybe you can play Stump Phil tonight. It wouldn't be that hard probably, but if I don't have an answer for you, I'll find you one. Now, we're on different platforms. You might be watching on Facebook right now and you don't have the chat. You can always email me, or if you're watching this at a later date, email's a good way if you have questions about streaming or anything. Support@StreamingChurch.tv. Support@StreamingChurch.tv. So that's one way you can get a hold of me here, by emailing me, even if you're watching something on Facebook or Roku or something like that. So anyhow, good to have you here. I'm going to just get to some questions. We've had some people write in some questions, email us some questions over the last week or so. I'm going to get to some of those. If you have a question, though, again, as I said earlier, you can email it to me or you can type it in right here in the chat area. So without further ado, let's get to it. One of the questions we've got here is Tyler wrote in and said, can I send multiple streams using your company? And the answer to that is, if you mean sending out different bandwidth and different streams, yes, you can with Streaming Church TV, providing your encoder allows you to do that. Now, if you're using something we recommend, like Adobe Flash Media Live Encoder, you could actually send multiple streams. Now, let me explain that. You might be saying, well, somebody might be saying, what's that all about? I don't mean you send necessarily different video, but what you would do is there are different speeds you can send your video at, different bitrate settings. And some people really like to stream at a high bitrate. You've got the ability to do that at your location. Your internet is very strong and healthy. You can upload at a very high speed. It does increase the quality of your picture, and especially if you're going to stream to something else like a different campus or a really large flat screen TV, and then your bit rate is definitely going to affect the quality of that. However, if you send a high bit rate out, other people may not be able to view that because their internet service provider where they're living or whatever may not be fast enough to download that. And it's still possible today, even though it's 2012, there are bad internet service providers and bad connections out there, even in the United States of America. So you can always send a lower speed bandwidth, a medium speed, where you dial it down a little bit, you set it at a different bit rate. You can also send a very low speed, and so you can send 3 different streams using the Adobe Flash Media Encoder, and that is fully compatible with the company. So I hope that's what you're asking me, Tyler. If not, email me back, and we'll try to clarify that. So again, this is a show related to streaming, so some of you may pop in and go, what's this all about? Well, it's about streaming online. And multiple bit rates, sending multiple streams using different speeds is definitely a valuable thing depending on what you're trying to do with it and how you're trying to do it. Honestly, folks, I have found that most of the time when you're streaming, you don't really have to stream much more than 250, 300, 350 for your bit rate on your upload speed. Most people are watching it on an iPhone, an iPad, or a computer like this, and really sending it much higher than, I mean, you can do that, but it is going to cost a little more as far as bandwidth goes. And there is some issues sometimes when it comes to people, again, getting it on the other end. Don's follow-up question to that, I see, Don, is that bit rate automatic to the viewer? Well, what we tend to do, no, it's not. If you've got multiple bit rates, you're going to have to put links on your platform so that people can do that. My own church that I stream with, alivechurch.com, if you go to alivechurch.com and go to their streaming platform, you'll see a low speed link on the platform, you'll see a medium speed. And so you will have to put a different link on the platform so that when people dial into it, they can click on that link. So it's not automatic in that sense. They're going to have to choose their bandwidth. That's a good question, Don. Not bad. All right, so let's move on here a little bit here, and if you have any more questions, follow-up questions on that, you can do that. Feel free, if you just joined us, feel free to ask me questions here about streaming-related things, or something close to that. You can type in the question if you're watching on the StreamingChurch.tv platform, or email it to me at support@StreamingChurch.tv. All right, I'm Phil Thompson. Steve Lacey is away from the desk here. Carl had a question, and this may be related to our little newsletter we sent out every week. His question is, what do you mean by the auto upload feature to YouTube? Well, everybody knows what YouTube is, right? Now with Streaming Church TV, if your church ministry, whatever, you're going to archive something you've streamed live. So after you've streamed it, you archive it to your hard drive, and then eventually when you get around to it, if you want to do post editing or whatever, you upload it to our servers, to your on-demand media vault. We have a video vault that is unlimited. You can put up all your archives up there. People can watch those later on demand. And you hopefully are taking advantage of that if you're with Streaming Church TV. Well, now, if you upload that to the media vault, and you upload it in an MP3 wrapper, in other words, encoded as an MP3, it will automatically be uploaded to YouTube. And so when people go to your on-demand video vault on your website, they click to the link, and they're going to see your on-demand vault. There's a list. Many people click on the list, drops the list down, all the different messages you've got on there. If you've encoded it as MP4, it will have a YouTube icon next to it, and people can watch the same video on YouTube if they want. So YouTube's a great, I mean, everybody's on YouTube, everybody's watching YouTube. There's actually more than kittens playing on the pianos on YouTube, and so YouTube's a great resource. So your service can be on YouTube. It can be automatically put on YouTube simply by when you upload to your media vault in an MP4 encoding, an MP4 file, and it will automatically go to YouTube, and we actually have a YouTube account, StreamingChurch.tv, and people will find it there, and they can just click it on your website. Does that make sense? So hopefully that will help. And that is something I think is a pretty cool little tool. But however, you've got to encode it as an MP4 in order for it to work. All right. Okay. Bear's got a question. Can I create a personal live stream page that you can link to the sign-in page at Streaming Church and have the chat embedded on my personal page? Okay. If I follow you right here, Barry, you can have a personal live stream page. You can, if you have a website. You can embed the Streaming Church TV platform on your personal website, or if you want to use one of our websites, one of the things with our company is you get a website, or if you want to figure out how to do that using our website and then linking to it, or using your own website, you can embed to it. And if you're streaming, if you have an account with us, when people are checking out Streaming Church TV and they want to check out who's streaming right now, if you're streaming, it's going to show up that you're streaming live, okay? And the same goes for Roku, for that matter, as well. If you want to be on a Roku and you've encoded so in an MP4 format, it's going to show up on Roku. So when people go to StreamingChurch.tv Roku channel, they'll then they look and see if you're streaming and your countdown clock is set and you stream during that time, it's going to show up as a live stream. So I don't know, does that help you, Barry? Does that make any sense what I'm saying? So you can create a personal live stream page. You can just use the platform here. You get your own Streaming Church TV platform, or you can use one of our websites. And if you're streaming, again, it can be embedded and all that. So hope that helps. Sometimes going through this, if I didn't answer that, just do a follow-up here in the chat, and I'll hopefully be able to solve that for you. Or you can email me later, or we can talk later on the phone. Okay, so awesome, cool. Thanks, Barry. All right, let me move on here a little bit to what we've got going here with some questions. Jason, do you have an automatic upload to video on demand? There are at least one or two companies that I'm aware of that have an automatic upload to the video vault. So, I mean, we have what we call an on-demand video vault. It's an archive. As of right now, when you stream with us and you need to save it to your hard drive, there's a way you can do that on your encoder. And then later, as I was talking earlier about the YouTube deal, later you upload it using an FTP software to upload it to our server. Now, so we don't have an automatic thing yet. However, if you happen to see my newsletter today, and that may be part of this question here, breaking news, we will have an automatic upload coming soon. In fact, we've already developed it. Our people have developed it. It works. We just have not made it so that it's user-friendly enough for a dummy like me to implement it, if that makes any sense. So what I'm getting at is we've got the technology, we've tried it, we've tested it, it works. So what we are going to do is configure something where you'll be able to, if you're like the administrator at your church or ministry and you oversee the streaming and you're turning the streaming on and all that good stuff, you will have the ability to start archiving automatically by just clicking a button, and that will save you a lot of time and hassle with archiving. And I understand archiving does take some time, although some people like it because they want to edit and do some things. However, with this new technology we're going to implement, probably in the next 60 to 90 days, you'll be able to simply start archiving it exactly when you want it to, and then all that. So that's good stuff. But Barry, I saw your follow-up here. You're going to call me. That's fine. Just give me a call sometime tomorrow if you want, and we can talk some more. So, in answer to your question, Jason, we will have automatic upload, and we will have it soon, and it's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it because I have to. One of my jobs at my church is archiving. It's kind of tedious, It's okay, but it does take a little bit of time. Alrighty, about 12 minutes after here, we got plenty of time to take some questions. If you've got a question for me, you can type it in here in the chat, StreamingChurch.tv, and excuse me here. Nothing like refreshment here. Or if you're watching on Facebook or something, you can email me support@streamingchurch.tv. Let me check, see if I have any emails coming in here. No. All right, more questions though from some people that emailed me earlier in the week. Is there a limit to the amount of viewers I can have watching my church service? That's from Pastor Gill. Is there a limit on the amount of viewers I can have watching my church service? Well, Pastor Gill, the answer is really no. It's not really infinity per se, but the truth is, I believe our max is going to be, according to my server guys, is about 20,000 people. So there could actually be 20,000 people viewing your live service all at once online. That's really going to fill up the chat area. But honestly, that can work. Now, if you're going to have over 20,000 people viewing a service, please give us a call 4 or 5 hours ahead of time at least, so we can just make sure we have some arrangements going so we're able to cover that stuff, because it does take bandwidth, and if you get over 20,000, then we may have to put you on a different server to do that. Okay, so I think the max that we've had on our servers in one shot was 27,000, I think, and it was a political thing years ago with John McCain, and I don't remember what the whole deal was. That was a few years ago. Okay, so but that wasn't me personally that streamed that. That was somebody else. So we've got the ability. Our servers can handle. I get that question every so often. How many people can I stream? And the truth is, it's at least 20,000. And then if you're going to do more than that, let us know. Okay. All right. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I think the most I've been a part of has been 900 or 950 at a time. And if you look at the chat, if you're watching on this deal and you see who's online, it really fills it up. Of course, now there could be people watching now on Facebook, and you don't really know they're on till later. People watching on Roku or the iPhone, and they don't show up in the chat, and so you're not sure. You don't always know they're online watching you, but you can find out later because you can get stats. We have real detailed stats called Sawmill, and if you stream with us, you have credentials to log on. You can find out unique IP addresses and who's online, who was online during the service, and what city they were from, and all that good stuff, and their home address and their home. No, I'm just kidding. You're not going to get their home address, but you will know what city they're in and their unique IP addresses. So, all right. Sometimes I goof around here. Sorry. Okay, guys, let's move on here. Thanks for the questions. Good questions here tonight. We're glad that you are a part of things here on this Streaming Church live video blog. Oh, here's a good one. Perry writes in, why do you recommend FireWire? We recommend FireWire to stream. Now, you don't have to use FireWire in your camera to stream, but we really do recommend FireWire. And let me give you a little example of that here, if I can find it over here in my little box of goodies. FireWire is is basically a device put on here by, I think it was invented by the fine people at Apple a number of years ago, and FireWire it's a connection that has the ability to handle a lot of data. So it's excellent when it comes to digital stuff and cameras and all that good stuff. Now there's other stuff out there, Thunderbolt's out there now, again I think developed by Apple, but FireWire is really good, and the reason we recommend FireWire is it handles a lot of data, handles the processing really well, so your computer doesn't get bogged down with things. So I'm going to give you a little example of why FireWire is good. Now, you've heard of USB. We've got USB ports in most of our computers, and some of our computers have FireWire ports. If you're an Apple user, a Mac user, then you know that you've got FireWire. And some cameras have FireWire out ports. Some of them don't. So I'm going to give you a little example here of how to use FireWire, since you asked. Let me, I see some more questions popping up here. Let me get to it here. I'm going to pull up a camera here. This is just a camera I've had since my son was born, and it's just an old handheld video, but it works. You can stream with it if you want. And this camera has an output of composite. Composite is what we used to call in radio RCA, red and white and yellow. I believe yellow is video and red and white is audio. But it also has S-video as a connection as well. So the camera here has this, and what you want to do here is you want to, if I can find it here, oh, here it is. I also recommend very strongly, Grass Valley has a video capture device. It's an ADVC55. If you're listening on a podcast here, it's ADVC55. It's put out by Grass Valley. This is a video capture device. You see, it's not very big. And this device takes the signal from your computer that's digital and basically, translates it or takes it from analog, I should say, standard, and takes it and puts it in digital. So what you want to do is, and we recommend this a lot. I mean, you don't have to have this. There's other video capture devices out there, but we strongly recommend this. And this is a FireWire device. So what you do with your camera is you plug in your composite or your S-video. It's got a import for S-video, but you can plug in your composite here, and takes that composite or the S-video if you wanted to, and then it's going to come out through FireWire. And there's your FireWire cable here, and the FireWire is going to go into your computer, and that is a great way to stream with minimal amount of problems. There's a little more to it than that, but not much. I mean, it's pretty simple, and it really helps. So FireWire handles a lot of information. It's a connection port that's able to handle a lot of data, and it's not going to get bogged down like USB might, or something else that you have might. So I would strongly encourage FireWire, Perry, because it's just something that we have found has the least amount of problems with streaming. Now you can use other devices. There are USB devices. There's Dazzle. It's put on by Pinnacle. Again, it's about the size of the palm of your hand. And again, it has USB or S-Video, and it has, the only difference is instead of FireWire out to your computer, it's going to go USB out, and that can work. I use another device I got from Radio Shack of all places. It's a Gigabyte, I think is what it's called, video capture device, $47, and I can plug into it, and I can plug it into the computer here and stream with it. I don't recommend it, although it does work. The Dazzle device is about $90, and the Grass Valley device I just showed you is about $175, but it's worth the money. And there's other devices out there if you have other kinds of cameras. All right, so email me if you have questions about that. All right, we're moving right along here. Barry, does the stat record viewers viewers twice if they log in more than once? No. Actually, you're talking about the Sawmill data we were talking about earlier, the statistics that we have for you. What that does is it's kind of complicated, but it will show you the unique IP addresses. So if somebody like Don, for instance, logged in and out 10 times during your service, it's only going to show one unique IP address for him. All right. Now it might show that he logged in a number of times through unique streams, through the different streams. But what you're really concerned about, as I am when I'm looking at those stats, is how many people actually watched. And so even if Don logged in 100 times, it's only going to show him as being one unique IP. So I always count the unique IP addresses when I'm looking to see how many people were online. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to be online for the entire service. They may only be online for 5 minutes or so, but at least you have a number there. Okay, I hope that answers that. Is there a step-by-step or troubleshooting information for the Android or phone apps? Well, that's a good question. We do have people from time to time that have an Android phone, and they will sometimes say, it's not working, it's not working. Well, the Androids are kind of fickle. Android phones are great devices. I have one here. It's actually one I got from Cricket a few years ago. I'm probably going to get rid of it here and get an iPhone. iPhone's going to be available of all places on Cricket, and I'm probably going to get an iPhone at this point for a lot of reasons. One of them which, when I'm doing things here with StreamingChurch TV, sometimes it's good for me to have an iPhone to help people that are streaming. So, but Androids, their operating systems vary a little bit. For instance, I have a very weak Android phone, and I cannot get the stream from my church. Now my partner Steve Lacey, he's got an Android. I don't know what he's got, an HTC or something, and he can see the stream easily on his Android. And so it depends on the operating system of the Android, and it also can depend on the browser. I believe the Honeycomb browser, if you can get that on your Android, that really helps make life a little easier. We also have an app that you can get from us for StreamingChurch TV. It's free. It's an app that you can download a StreamingChurch TV app, and then you can find your service on there if you're streaming, or somebody else's service. We also do custom make apps for phones that will have just your own church, and so that's a little easier. You don't have to have an app to view your services. You can use the browser on your phone. But yeah, the Androids are a little bit fickle. Is there a way to troubleshoot that? Honestly, Don, if your encoder is set up like it should be, you should be good to go. And when it comes to Android, really, the way you encode is not hard at all. Now, if you want to encode to iOS devices, iPhone, iPad, you do have to make an adjustment in your encoder. And when you make the adjustment in your encoder, that enables the iOS systems to work. So just to keep you in mind, if you have questions about that, let me know. But basically the bottom line is it's going to be on your encoding end, and then the people that have their phones, if they've got a good connection, they should be okay. Sometimes it's a connection issue too, for these phones and Androids and even iPhones. Connection issues can be a problem. All right. Okay. Virgin's coming out with an iPhone too. Interesting. All right. So, keep me, again, feel free to email me and we can maybe dialogue a little more on the phone or something about some of these things that sometimes they don't give the answers you want. All right, we got a few more minutes left. Thanks for the questions, guys. Let's pull through a few more here. Jamar wants to know, can I embed the Streaming Church TV platform on my own church's website? Yes, Jamar. Simple answer. When you stream with us, there's a code that we give you in your admin in your admin manual that we send you with your credentials, and there's a code that you can copy and paste and drop it into your church's website, or you can link to it. So that's a good thing. Oh, here's one. I have a small house church, but we still like to stream our services. Will this work from our home? Natasha. Natasha, are you Russian? House church. There's all sorts of different churches out there, big mega churches, small churches, and there's people that meet in homes and they have house churches. And so, yes, the answer to your question, Natasha, is yes. In fact, I'm streaming right now from my home office. Sounds like a David Letterman joke, doesn't it? From the home office in Kansas City. I'm here in Tucson, Arizona, in my home office, and I'm streaming right now. I have a good internet connection most of the time, and that's one of the variables, Natasha, you're going to have to do. You can stream from anywhere. Steve and I have streamed from coffee shops, from different locations, all over the place, and you can stream anywhere if you have a solid internet connection. It has good upload speed, and then again, you want to set your encoder the right way, but you can stream from your home, and you want to make sure you have good lighting, some of the basics, good lighting, good sound, and as long as your internet connection is healthy, you can do that. And we have people that we have some clients that are actually counselors that stream from their offices and have people online, and they actually do live streaming, and small businesses. We've got somebody that travels to different businesses. They're in the social media realm, and they're in different locations. So the internet connection is a big thing, and you can find that out simply by going to our website, StreamingChurch.tv, and you can go to our resource menu, and there's a test your speed link, and you want to test your speed with our resources, our test your speed link, because you can test your speed with other people, but it may not reflect an accurate representation of your upload and download speed and your quality of connection and all that, because our test is better because it goes to our servers, not because we're better than anybody else, but because it's going to go, the test your speed is going to go to our servers, and so it's going to give you an accurate reflection on everything. All right, so here you have it, that, Natasha. I encourage you to stream from your home. That would be awesome. I'd like to know about that. I'd like to know where you're at, just to see it. Maybe for another country, that'd be great. We have people in our church. We have people that watch our church from different countries. China, we've had on a number of occasions. Middle East, and so that's pretty cool. Alrighty, I'm just about out of time here. Let's see. Got time for another question. What is Roku, and how do we get on it? Jill wants to know, what is Roku? I got a minute or so to tell you that, and I have a little box here in my hand, and it is a Roku device. It's very small, as you can see. It works off the Wi-Fi, and there's a connection here, and then a port that goes into my television set. And so Roku is kind of like Apple TV. It has multiple channels on it that you can subscribe to. A lot of it is free programming, and some of it you do pay for, depending on, there's different people out there. Netflix, Amazon's on there. You have to pay for Netflix movies. But it's a device that you can use, a platform you can use, and some of the shows on there are pretty funny. They're older shows. Some of the stuff is free, as I said, some of it is not. StreamingChurch.tv has a Roku channel, and so this is what it looks like, and you can just plug it in your TV, works off your Wi-Fi, and you can stream on Roku if you have an account with us and you have it set up in the proper way, in the proper encoding. People can view you on Roku. And they can view your archives on Roku as well. In fact, if you actually want your own private Roku channel, we can build one for you. You can be on our channel for free, or you can get your own private Roku channel. When I say private, just your own channel, and then it'll be under the category of spiritual and religious, and other people can see that, okay? All right, so I hope that helps you a little bit with Roku. Nice little device there, pretty cool. All right, it's out of time here. My name is Phil Thompson. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here online as we've gone through some of your questions here, and we'll put this up later on YouTube as well as our Streaming Church On Demand Video Vault. And you can just go to StreamingChurch.tv. If you have any questions about anything, well, at least streaming related or website related, or you can ask me something else. Who knows? Maybe I'll have the answer for you. Not sure what the stock market's doing these days, but maybe I can help you with something. Just send me an email, support@StreamingChurch.tv, support@StreamingChurch.tv, or check out our website. It is StreamingChurch.tv. Thanks so much for spending some time here. Thanks for your questions, guys. Hope I helped you. If not, call me, email me, and we'll try to clarify some things. Have yourself a great evening. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.